Hi, this is Jill from Humu Yoga, and this is the full practice. This week we're working with the theme of perspective, how to find a fresh perspective and how to incorporate that into your practice and everything you do. So we'll go ahead and get started and come to a centering, and I'll recite the inspirational quotes on perspective, and then I'm going to go ahead and weave them into a full practice where we'll use the breath for fresh perspective as we go deep into twists, back bends, and then we're going to go upside down as well. So by the end of the practice, you will feel ready to go and from a positive, fresh perspective. So let's get started. And if this is something you really like, please subscribe. So with the hands by the sides, just take a moment, close the eyes, and tune inward. So we're going to connect with bandhas, the internal locks. So connecting with pelvic floor, just engage the muscles you're sitting on. And then above that, right below the navel, or the belly button, pull the belly in and up and get a sense of flying upward. We call that Uddiyana Bandha, and it means flying upward. And then with Mula Bandha, your root lock, and Uddiyana Bandha engaged, we can draw the chin down and seal in the internal locks by engaging in Jalandhara Bandha, or chin lock. And then with the bandhas engaged now, we're fully supported, so you can release the hands and just sit up, and let's pay attention to the breath. So inhale, you can feel and visualize the rib cage expanding, and then as you exhale, feel the rib cage relax. Conscious breathing, inhale, feel the rib cage expand. Exhale, let the rib cage relax. And one more, inhale. And then we'll take the hands together in prayer position and we'll vibrate an Om, and I'll recite the quotes. Inhaling. Om. It's not what you look at that matters. It's what you see. Nowhere. Now here. It's just a matter of perspective. No great artist ever sees things as they really are. If he did, he would cease to be an artist. We can complain because rose bushes have thorns, or rejoice because thorn bushes have roses. If you change the way you look at things, the things you look at change. Perspective. By focusing on the practice in a different way, maybe focusing on breath and having an intention of going deeper with the breath, it brings us to a fresh practice rather than just moving out of habit. So let's see if we can find that. We'll come onto all fours. And go ahead and on an exhalation, round the spine. But maybe today you're focusing on really pulling the belly in and lifting up and noticing where you're at today and what's going on in your spine. And then inhale, move with your breath. Inhale, and allow the sternum to come forward and arch your back. And now exhale, pull the belly in and lift way up. And then inhale, moving through the spine. Inhale as you lengthen forward. And now we're going to exhale and take this one all the way into downward facing dog. And breathe here. Notice how you can move with your breath. Maybe you want to bend the knees. Inhale and exhale. You could do that again. Inhale, trying to get the shoulders closer to the thighs, right? Really reaching, but rolling the shoulders open. Try that one more time. You can bend the knees and really reach through the shoulders. Reach the best you can through the heels. It doesn't matter if they're a little up. Notice, can you pull your belly in too? And then slowly, using your breath, you can exhale. Inhale and exhale as you walk up. Take your time and making your way all the way up to the front. You can have your feet about hip width. And just hang out here for a moment and notice what's going on in your legs. Can you release your neck? And then release the hands. You could bend the knees and curl up, visualizing your spine. Pull the belly in, and you visualize one vertebra at a time. You're making your way all the way up to standing. The shoulders fall into place, and the head comes into alignment. And we step into Samaseta, standing still and straight, and we're ready to start moving into our sun salutations. Before we start, I always practice with 2 blocks and a little towel, but you could use a yoga belt or an exercise band if you wanted, or you don't have to. So here we go. Surya Namaskar A. Using the breath. Inhale, reach way up. Exhale, fold. Feel how your belly lifts when you do that. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, we're going to take this back to a plank. This is a perfect opportunity to find alignment here. And then we're going to lower down. Exhale. Inhale, rise up and come through. Inhale here. You could keep your knees down, but keep your tail under, or you could lift them off, leading with the sternum, gazing down the nose. Find a nice inhalation here. And then we'll exhale back into downward facing dog. And breathe. Inhale, focusing on that breath. Exhale, gaze in the direction of your legs or maybe your navel. Inhale. And exhale. A couple more breaths. Each breath takes you a little deeper. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, release. And then slowly, let's make our way up. Inhale, exhale, fold. And then inhale, lengthen, and let's rise all the way up. Inhale, and exhale, release. One more Surya Namaskar A. Inhale, exhale, lead with the sternum. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, take it back to a plank. Hold your plank with the tail under, nice strong plank. If you needed to, you could lower to the knees to lower down so you could maintain that nice line and rise up. And then we're going to come through. Inhale, lift the sternum, tail is under, and we'll take it back downward facing dog. And breathe. Inhale, keeping the belly in. Exhale. Breathing, just paying attention to that. Inhale, maybe gazing to the legs, maybe to your navel. And exhale, just staying very present with your breath. And exhale. And then we're going to make our way up to the front. Slowly breathing. Find an exhalation once you get there. And then find an inhalation to rise up. Reaching and exhale, hands down. Now we're going to come into Surya Namaskar B, bending the knees. I'm going to use the blocks here just for a little bit more height and to keep my practice really light. Reach up, inhale, exhale, but it's optional, of course. Fold, inhale, lengthen, and take it back. And then let's slowly lower. Keeping the tail under, rise. We're going to come through, lift the sternum, tail under, and take it back downward facing dog. We're going to go ahead and reach the right leg back and try to get your chest closer to your left leg. Reach, and then lift the knee up. The block makes this easier, the blocks. And we're going to rise up into a high lunge. Reach the arms. Let's bend the back knee and take the tail under on that left side. You're really trying to get that left butt under. Lower as much as you can. I'm gazing down the nose and straight ahead. Now I start to rise, but I'm not straightening the front leg very much. I'm trying to keep that bent as I lift up to go back. Now focus on your breath. Inhale. Exhale. Feel how the breath allows you to go deeper as you exhale. Inhale, rise up, reach the arms, take the hands down and step back. And now we're going to lower and rise. And coming through, inhale, tail under, and exhale, downward facing dog. Left side. So lifting the left leg up, take your chest closer to your leg, your right leg. Feel that length. And then lift the left knee up, step it down, and we'll come into a high lunge. So reach the arms. I'm gazing down the nose and straight ahead. I'm bending the back knee, trying to get that right butt under. So you feel the hip flexors, the top of the hip here, as you do that. Then I'm trying to straighten it without coming up too much. So I straighten, and then I lift up and I use the breath. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale, go a little deeper. One more. Inhale, letting the breath guide you. Exhale. Inhale, rising up, reaching forward. Take the hands down, stepping back, and lowering, and rising, and coming through. Big breath in, lift the sternum, and exhale. And breathe here, inhaling, and exhaling. Feeling release with every exhalation, a little bit more length. Inhale, taking it all in, and exhale. One more. Find a target, somewhere you want to jump to if you won't feel like jumping up, and push down, lift the hips, and put them down. The blocks definitely makes that lighter. Fold in. Bend the knees. Reach the arms and come to stand. One more Surya Namaskar B. Bend the knees, reaching, exhale, folding. Inhale, lengthen. You can lift up, and we'll make our way back. Boom. Keeping the tail under, lower, rise, and come through. Lift the sternum, tail under, and downward facing dog. And now we're going to step the right foot forward, take the back heel down, and rise into warrior one. Reaching. Inhale. Exhale, take it back. Inhale. Exhale, take it back. One more. I'm gazing to the hands. Exhale. Inhale, start to reach forward. I'm pulling that right butt back. Take the hands down and step back. And now we'll lower down and rise and come through. Tail under, lifting the sternum. Inhale and exhale. We'll come to the other side. So stepping the left foot forward, the right foot comes down. Big breath in. And exhale, take it back. Inhale. Exhale, take it back. Gazing to the hands as best you can. Inhale. Or maybe it's just down your nose. Exhale. And then inhale here. Reach the arms. Take the hands down. Stepping back. And lowering. Keeping the tail under. And rising. And coming through. Lifting that sternum. And take it back. Downward facing dog. And breathe. Inhale. Notice you're starting to feel a little bit more warm. Inhale. Exhale. Keep lengthening. Inhale. And exhale. One more breath. Inhale, take it in. Exhale, see if the heels sink down a little deeper. The chest comes closer to the legs. And then find your little gaze point. If you want to lift up, boom. And fold. Bending the knees, reaching the arms, and exhale, coming to stand. And let's step the feet out, hip width. We'll come into a forward fold. So your hip sockets are not directly on the side. They're a little in front, right here. As you come forward, hinge from the hips. So try not to round your back. Really hinge to see where you can go. And pause there for a moment. And then we're going to exhale, take it down. You could grab the back of the legs. Inhale. If your hips go back a little, that's okay. Just try to keep them straight. Try to really engage the front of the legs and get deep into this hip crease as you come down. So you inhale, lengthen, and then you exhale, pull in. Inhale, find the length. Exhale, pull in. Let the breath take you deeper. One more. Exhale, shoulders away from your ears. Inhale, using the breath, and rising up. And exhale, we'll take the hands down through heart center and step everything together. Now we're going to come into some standing poses. The same poses we do all the time, but with a different perspective of really moving with the breath. Moving with the breath and allowing the breath to take you there. So let's go ahead and step out. Trikonasana. Done Trikonasana a million times, but think of it a little differently. So you're reaching. Today I'm going to use the block maybe a little higher, and my Trikonasana is a little wider. I just want to try that today. And then inhale here. Now I'm going to turn the right ribs up to the ceiling on an exhalation. And then I inhale, lengthen, and I exhale, find as much length as I can. And breathing. Inhale, rise up, and we'll go to the other side. So turning the right foot in, the left foot out. Inhale, I'm really reaching. I'm getting as much length as I can. The block is under my hand, which is right under my armpit, if you're using one. And then I'm turning on an exhalation. I turn the left ribs, and I change my gaze up. Inhale. Exhale. I'm just noticing, can I find more release? I'm feeling a nice stretch in here today. Inhale. And exhale. Inhale, rising up. And we're going to pivot for Parivrtta Trikonasana. So we turn both hips to face the same direction. And this you can really feel how the breath will help you to revolve and twist. So coming forward, taking your hand down to the outside of your right ankle, or you could be here if you didn't have a block. And then starting to turn the ribs on an exhalation. So inhale here, you can reach your right arm up. Exhale, start to turn the left ribs to the right. Inhale. Exhale, turn the left ribs to the right. At the same time, you're lengthening your head away from your tailbone. One more. And exhale. Now inhale to rise up. And we'll pivot to the other side. So this time, reaching your right arm up, inhale, start to come across, exhale. Inhale here, and then exhale, start to turn the right ribs to the left. Maybe your gaze comes up, inhale, use the breath, exhale. And again, and exhale. One more. Exhale, turn. And then on an inhalation, we rise up, and we're going to pivot the feet again and go a little wider for Warrior Two. So we'll bend now into Warrior Two. As you come into Warrior Two, feel like a melt, like you're inhale and use the breath, exhale. Gaze over the fingertips. Inhale, the belly is in. Exhale, feel like you could open wider. Inhale and exhale. We're going to come into Utthita Parshvakonasana. Inhale, exhale. And maybe you want to use the block. Inhale. Now on an exhalation, I'm turning my right ribs and I'm reaching. Inhale, exhale, turning. And then inhale here, rising up, and we'll go to the other side. So turn the right foot in, the left foot out. Inhale. Exhale, melt. Inhale, lifting the belly. Exhale, feel an opening in the hips. Inhale and exhale. And now we'll come into Parshvakonasana. Inhale, reach the arm. You could exhale, maybe take your hand down, maybe stay up, it doesn't matter. Turn the left ribs. Inhale, on an exhalation, feel the ribs turn. And one more. Inhale, rising up. And we'll turn the feet for Prasarita Padottanasana. Inhale here. Exhale, spread out, forward bend. Let's take the first two fingers on the big toe today and use the biceps and the back muscles, so not the neck. to pull the head down. Inhale. Exhale, pull down a little more. Try to keep your legs really straight. You could use a block for your head if it doesn't quite get to the floor. Exhale. And one more. Inhale, look up and lengthen. And rising up. And then let's come into goddess pose. So you can turn the feet out. Inhale here. And exhale, melt. Try that again. Inhale. Exhale, melt a little bit more. Inhale. Exhale. See where you go with this. Try to keep straight up and don't stick your butt out too much, right? And one more breath. And then inhale, rise up. And then we're going to go ahead and take a step up to the front. Samasthiti. And now we'll try some standing poses. So we're going to do Utthita Hasta Padangustasana, but with a twist. So I think it's good to have a wall handy if you really want to go to the full balance, because you'll have support and you might be able to go deeper, but no problem if you don't want to. But let the right leg come up. And then from here, we're going to go ahead and grab the outside of the foot with the left hand. And you can use your hand here to hold yourself as you reach. And then we're going to take it into a twist. So your hand could be here too, right? And your leg might be lower. That's okay. So just go to where you can. Then we're going to start to turn. Inhale, reach the arm. Exhale, turn. Inhale, I'm dropping my right hip. Exhale as I turn. And then bring it back. See if you can hold your leg out there. And breathe. And slowly lower. We'll try the other side. So letting the left leg come up. You can grab maybe the outside of your calf, or maybe you can grab the outside of your foot. Extend the leg. And then inhale. And exhale, play around with this left hand, turn. Inhale, maybe you can take your gaze to your left hand as you drop the left hip. Exhale. Inhale. And exhale. And then slowly coming back around. See if you can let go. I'm keeping a gaze down. Breathing. And slowly lowering. And now we'll come into Vrikshasana, or tree pose. And I'm going to have the stall bars in back of me. So just for support, because I want to take it into a big expressive back bend using our breath. So the right leg comes up. You can always have your hand on the bar. And then we'll turn out. And if you feel like you need more support, go closer to the wall. I'm a little distance away because I want to take it into a back bend. So we'll come into a nice straight tree first, keeping your gaze down your nose. Now we'll start the breath. Inhale. Exhale. Lifting up. Inhale. Use the exhalation, opening that right knee. You may not even need to touch the wall. Inhale, but it's there for support. Exhale. Take it somewhere you want to go. On the exhalation. And then inhale, rise up and bring everything back. And we'll do the other side. So letting the left leg come up, you can hold on, right? Open. Take everything into the center. Vrikshasana, tree pose, nice and steady. Now we'll add the back bend. Inhale. Exhale. Breathing. On an exhalation, go back deeper, lifting the sternum. Again, inhale. Exhale. And then inhale, rising up, and everything comes down. So we just did tree pose, and now we're going to do upside down tree pose, Adho Mukha Vrikshasana. So I'm going to teach 3 variations of handstands, and one of them should work for you to get a different change in perspective. So here we go. Adho Mukha Vrikshasana. Handstand. I'm going to teach 3 different levels. So if your shoulders are really tight, the first one's going to really work for you. If your shoulders are starting to open and you feel okay, the second one. And then if you want to kick up, you already have that in your practice. That'll be the third one. So we're working on the straight handstand. So to find what needs to happen, and this is definitely a change of perspective. We're now going from being very solid in our feet and our hips to taking the weight in our shoulders and our back. And that's a big deal. So if you find yourself in this nice kind of box shape, notice, do you want to collapse? Or can you hold your body line just like we do in a plank? And notice, is your butt sticking out, or can you come to neutral? It's not tucked under. And then just feel this and notice where you're at with this. And this is what we want to try and find in each of the variations. Now notice where your feet are when you made that box shape. You're going to kind of turn. And for the incline plank, we're going to put the hands a little forward of that. And then we're going to step into a down dog here. And then, of course, you don't have to use stall bars. The wall is easier, actually. But this is what I have here. So I'm just going to do it here, lift up. And then I'm going to go up one higher because I want to really push my shoulders in the direction of the wall and not let them come forward. And then I check my body line. So it's not here. Tail under, push. And then slowly, very lightly coming down. And if that worked well for you, then do it again. But if you wanted to try something a little more challenging, because now we're going to get the shoulders over the wrists, you come back to where your feet were when you made that box shape, and then you walk up again, but this time not as high. And you try to make more of a box shape, but tail in, right? No sticking out. And this time you're not trying to push towards the wall, you're trying to stay right over your wrists, keeping that tail under. And then again, you come down lightly. And of course, you could do that variation again. So for those of you who have a practice where you feel confident kicking up, then we'll do that. So you just turn yourself around. Try to keep your shoulders over your hands as you do this. Lift up, try to find the wall. And then from here, try to find a straight handstand. So I'm taking one leg off and I'm making a V, and just see if you can hold that, right? You have the wall there. And then come down. And whichever one you do, you're building upper body strength and you're definitely changing your perspective. So now we're gonna make our way down to seated for something a little bit more releasing. So coming to stand, I'm gonna use the blocks just to get down to the floor. Inhale, reach. Exhale, fold. And then from here, I'm just gonna walk the feet up. And I'm going to move my blocks back because I'm working on this. I'm working on trying to come into Lolasana. So you lift up and see if you can balance, and come down. No worries if you can't, but just try to stay light on the feet. And then we'll take the blocks aside. And let's sit up in Dandasana. So trying to keep that low back engaged, right? So you're not rounding. Lift up. Maybe you have to bend the knees to find that, or maybe sit on a block or a blanket. We're coming into Padottanasana, so keeping that back lengthened, come forward. If you need to, this is where the little towel comes in handy if you have tight hamstrings, right? Because I want you to really keep the legs straight. You might even bend the knees and then try to straighten them and pull your body down. For those of you who can, maybe you can grab your feet, maybe your hands are here. Maybe you can grab your wrist. And here's the breathing. Inhale. And exhale. Inhale. Every exhalation takes you deeper. And one more. Inhale. And exhale. Inhale, lengthen. So the forward bends are so good for releasing, especially if that was scary for you. But it does get better over time. Your perspective gets, used to it. And you start to see that it feels like doable. So let's bend the right knee the more you do it, right? Just to bend the right knee and take it to the armpit or maybe beyond and just pull back. So we're in hip flexion here, really pulling back. And then from here, we're gonna go ahead and take it across to a nice cradle. So we're stretching the glutes now on this right side. Cradle your leg a little bit. Notice, are you curled back in your spine? see if you can sit up a little bit. And as you bend the left knee, this will really help. So sit way up and try to open the knee. Try to open that knee and just notice what's going on in that hip. So inhale here, exhale, open the knee. A couple of times. Inhale, exhale, open the knee. And then from here, we're going to go ahead and bring this into Anjaneyasana. So you can put your right foot on the inside of your left thigh, and then we're going to inhale here, exhale, and turn to the right. So inhale, lift up. On an exhalation, feel how the rib cage draws closer together and brings you around. Inhale and exhale. One more, inhale and exhale. And now we're going to come into Anjaneyasana. So we're going to twist the other way. Inhale, turning the ribs. Exhale, coming over the leg. Again, you could use your towel if you need it, or your hands are here, or maybe you could grab your right wrist and really work on pulling that right side over. So inhale, exhale, feel the right side coming forward. Inhale, exhale, deeper. And again, inhale, shoulders away from your ears, exhale. And then inhale, lengthen, and rise up. And we'll do that whole thing on the other side. So letting the left leg come up, you can pull the knee back. That's nice hip flexion here. You're pulling back. And then we'll go ahead and take the leg now across this way. And notice as your spine curled back, can you sit up? And then maybe we'll go ahead and bend the right knee, take the ankle over, and maybe this will help you to sit up better. So you can use that leverage. Inhale here. Exhale, open the knee. Inhale. Exhale, opening the knee. See what you find. Inhale and exhale. And now we'll go ahead and take this into Anjaneyasana. So you can take the foot to the inside. And then inhale here. Exhale, we'll take a twist to the left. So inhale, exhale, feel the right ribs turn to the left. Inhale, your gaze is down your nose and maybe towards your left shoulder. Inhale, let the exhalation take you around. Inhale, come back to the center. Now we're going to turn the other way. Inhale, feel a nice lengthening from this left hip all the way through your spine. So you could use your towel, or you could have your hands here or here, or if you can grab your wrist, I feel a nice pull. Inhale and exhale. Lengthening, inhale. Exhale, going deeper. And again. And exhale. And then inhale, lengthen, and exhale, release. And now we'll come down to the floor. I'm going to use the blocks for a restorative back bend. So inhaling here, let's exhale, start to curl the spine back. Pull the belly way in to curl the spine back. Now you have to find this setup with the blocks if you're using them. So the block is on the bottom edge of your shoulder blade, right below your sternum. That's where you want the back bend. And then once you get there, let's go ahead and bend the knees. Reach the arms. And then let's go ahead and open the knees. Supta Padottanasana. So this is restorative. You can just let your body sink on the exhalation. So just tune into your breath. Inhale. Exhale, release. Inhale. Exhale, release a little deeper. Even if you don't have blocks, this feels great just lying on the floor. Exhale. Just a few more breaths, or you could stay here as long as you'd like and pause the video. But I'm going to go ahead and move on a little bit. So let's go ahead and straighten the legs. And then we're going to do a curl up. Inhale. Exhale. Pull the belly in. Sequencing the spine up. And then I'm going to move the blocks out of the way again. And we'll come to a nice roll back. Inhale. Exhale, starting to curl. Curl. So really exhaling your way down. and hands by the sides. And then let's go ahead and bend the knees for an articulating bridge. Inhale, exhale, curl up. We'll reach the arms again. We'll just do one of these. You can lift the heels, lift up, make sure your neck is long. Curl and come down. Take your time. Curl all the way down. Inhale. Exhale, let the hands come down. And now we'll come into a restorative inversion. So lift the hips up if you're using a block, put the block under, and let the legs come up. Just make sure you're engaged in the front of your legs and you have a neutral spine, so you're not arching, you're not tucked under, nice and neutral. And we're just a relaxed inversion. But those of you who have it in your practice and you want to go into halasana and shoulder stand, by all means do, and unless that's contraindicated, like osteoporosis. So if you're doing that, your legs will come over. Otherwise, stay here, but the legs will come over. You can come into halasana. Maybe you want to lift up, right? And this is your opportunity to explore. You could stay there longer, really focusing on keeping my neck long. It's nice to bend the knees here, Karna Padottanasana. Just kind of do what feels good in your body. And like I said, you can take as long as you want there, but I'm coming back. We're all going to meet here. And then from here, we'll bend the knees. Lift the hips up, shift them to the left. Take the arms out to the side. Take the knees up. Exhale, taking the legs over to the right. I'm gently I have my hand on my left thigh, just guiding that knee over, and I'm turning. Inhale, exhale, turn the right ribs to the left, gently letting my head come along. I'm not forcing, I'm just letting the breath do it. Inhale, exhale. Notice how that feels. Inhale, exhale, turning. And then inhaling, letting the legs come up. We'll go the other way, shift the hips to the right. Inhale, the knees come up. Exhale, over. Gently guiding my right leg over. Inhale here. Exhale, I feel the left ribs turn to the right and my shoulder opens. Gently taking your gaze to the right if that feels good. Exhale, let the left ribs turn to the right. And one more, inhale. Exhale. Inhale, let everything come back. You can even yourself out. You can hug in. Take a nice exhalation here. And let's release. And then just let the body go. Let the breath become very free and natural. And just be in this moment, in this fresh perspective. And stay in this. Stay in this Savasana, where you're just beaming with inner light. And you can pause the video, but I'm going to go ahead and take us out. So start to become aware of your breath, but don't change anything. And just start moving fingers and toes. And then we'll bend the knees. We'll come into a fetal position on your side. And pause there. And slowly making your way up to seated. And we'll find a moment to sit in this glowing stillness and just take this fresh perspective with you wherever you go. And whatever you do. Namaste.